All right, guys, so I wanted to show you everything coming out of the Canik Mete MC9, alongside with my first impressions, thoughts, and opinions after putting several hundred rounds through it. So with that said, here is the first thing, the actual packaging, the box that it comes in. A magnificent box, in my opinion, for a magnificent price. You may not be, I would say, unfamiliar with how Canik packages their firearms, because I also received a very similar type of style case with the TTI Combat. So you have it when you open it up, Mete MC9 Prime, superiority in its prime, Canik. You got the little Canik case that features all your screw sets and stuff, your tools needed when cleaning, taking things apart, putting in optics. It has it all there. You also have two additional back straps. I'm honestly okay with the one that it comes with, but they are there if need be. You have your pamphlet that has all of your manuals, your safety hazards, and all that type of information stored in here, how to assemble and disassemble the firearm if need be. And then going into the actual main goodies, you have an additional magazine, which is a 17-round magazine, and you have your top plate, which I actually took the plate off, but you have your lock key if you want to put the lock guard on the trigger, featured right here. And then you have the gun itself that comes with a Canik inside the waistband holster, and the holster itself is pretty good. It is very, very strong on the tension, which I guess would not be an issue, but wearing them alongside with shorts or something like that, you're definitely going to probably have a little bit of issue, because I tried pulling it out of shorts in any type of drawstring, and it's definitely locked in there. I mean, you can hear it. Listen. It locks in very strong over on the trigger guard, and I tried loosening up the tension. It's pretty strong throughout the whole entire, as loose as possible to as tight as possible. But wearing them with pants with a good belt, this is where it's definitely coming in handy, and I like the overall holster. With that being said, it also features Canik on there as well. Now, this is the base model version, right? There's a base model version, and then there is a upgraded version that comes with the actual Canik M04 optic. Now, this is the standard model that doesn't come with it, but we did put on a optic, which this particular optic, I have not taken it out yet to shoot with a red dot. So all of my shooting so far has been straight with irons, and I've been extremely, extremely impressed. Now, let's go over some of the specs of the gun, and then we're going to talk about my actual opinions and impressions. Flat face aluminum diamond cut trigger, which I love, with a 90-degree break. So with that being said, you got that little blade that is a safety blade, and then you get the wall pretty much at that 90-degree angle right there, and a little bit of pressure. There you go. And then a very nice reset. I'll do a close-up if I can, but I love the trigger on it. Full grip surface stippling with increased texture on the front and rear. Redesigned slide serrations with flared slide and slight lightning cuts. Night Fission tritium night sight sets, integrally flared magwell with optional extended low profile magwell. Optional full grip extended backstrap included. 4 side barrel fluting with serrations on barrel chamber and large trigger guard. Enhanced slide stop lever. Redesigned double undercut. Full length dust cover. Vertical serrations on the mag release. Forward trigger guard texture. Weather resistant hard case. Comes with the all new G code inside the waistband ambidextrous holster. And it's brought to you by Canik USA. Made in the USA. This is not from Turkey or imported in from Turkey. It is made in the USA, and that is in West Palm Beach, Florida. As far as right now, I think this is the only color option, which is the black gun with a gold trigger safety only to start with. So they more than likely will drop other colorways. You know, when it comes to Canik, they drop a lot of different colors, from their tungstens and whites. I've seen numerous different colorways for that. MSRP is $650, and then with that upgraded optic model is $850. 17 plus 1 on the mags, which are phenomenal and definitely competitor ready for your P365s and Hellcat Pros. And it comes with 2 mags, 1 and 2, 1 in there. And it also comes with the Canik, fast reload if you want to get those fast reloads in. Always a plus. Overall length is 6.73, or barrel length is 3.64. Height is 5.43, width is 1.16, and the weight is 23.38. So with that said, man, I think that this gun is dope. I want to use the word phenomenal. I just don't want to boost it up too much. But listen, okay, I carry a P365 Legion. That is the version that has the integrated chamber. And then I also have a Hellcat Pro comped and a regular Pro version. So as far as size goes, this fits pretty much identical in that size realm. It's not, I would say it's pretty much identical. Like I don't feel like it's bigger or smaller than any of those. And we'll probably do a video comparing all three of them down the pipeline. Now, a lot of people have asked me or mentioned in the comments that the gun is loud. Well, when it comes to ported guns or compensating guns, for the most part, especially in a small package like this, it's going to be loud. That's just normal. It's not even like a thing that's this specific gun. Any type of small gun of this type of frame that's going to be ported or comped is going to be loud. The bigger guns, it's not as much, but that's kind of normal. And I say that because the Hellcat Pro is loud, and my P365, even though it's a slide chamber port instead of a barrel, it's loud as well. Now, with that said, the Hellcat Pro is probably by far the most loudest of the bunch that hurts my ears a little bit. The P365, I want to reassess, but shooting this, I did not get a very loud feel overall compared to the other ones and other ported guns likewise, even like a Glock 19 ported version, even like a Glock 19 that I had that is ported. This was not very loud compared to those. I think it handles it very well. And the actual ports itself on the barrel, as I stated before, it's not one big port, but three small ones that I think help distinguish that and help kind of like reduce it being one big pow. Instead of putting them in three different areas, it kind of helps mitigate that concuss feel or that very loudness feel that you deal with ported guns. But with that said, I think personally, it's not an issue for me. I know what it is when it comes to ported and comp guns, that they're going to be loud. And that's just something that I got to be okay with, regardless of whatever gun I end up getting, not just Canik. With that said, I like it. I think that the actual ports themselves help with that muzzle rise overall. They help keep the recoil down. I think it shoots very good. It has a crisp trigger. I didn't have any hangups whatsoever. Another thing that's more so on bigger ported guns, but I have a pretty high grip and I have a tight grip that sometimes too much pressure can mess up that slide going back, especially with those ports. Less pressure pushing that slide back to put another round in the chamber. That didn't seem to be an issue when running this one as well. The only issue I have with this gun, and I think I just need to get another, let me show y'all. So the issue I have is I run the TLR 7A, and this does not work on the TL7RA. So it may look like it does, but pretty much there's a Picatinny that's supposed to go in there, and trying to line that up, no. There needs to be one more Picatinny slot right there where there is this big chunk, because it does not line up. It would be perfect, but it doesn't work with the TLR7A. Somebody told me to try the sub, which is fine. I just don't have any subs, so I have to go and buy one. But as far as light options, that is where I'm a little bit like, okay, where at? I looked on the internet. Like I said, I've seen people run this and they kind of shave this part down and it's tight and the screw up very tight. But I'm worried of it just sliding off like that. So maybe it's going to be the TL7A sub that's going to have to go with it. But I don't have one to test it right now. So that is something that I'm going to have to wait and see. But that's a little bit of a disappointment for me, because this is what I usually run on all my carry guns. I have extras laying around. I'll have to go grab another one. It shot really, really well with irons. I'm about to take it out now with a red dot and see how it runs then, because I am a red dot guy first. I don't shoot really with irons, but I understand how important it is to train with both. And we're running this one I put on here, a MetPro Light MPO SR, and it does co-witness with the irons. So I have the backup irons to go along with it if need be. One thing I love about Canik that people have told me before I even shot Canik is the trigger itself. It has a very wide trigger. I love the wide trigger on Caniks. It gives a lot of surface area for your finger to go on. Instead of these thin blade type of triggers, this one is a very nice one overall. And the safety on that trigger is very wide, pretty much the same width as the trigger. It's a little bit of space on each side, but that actual blade right there is pretty wide as well. It gives a very comfortable feeling for your finger overall to give a good, nice pull straight back. Because what I've learned, the majority of your inaccuracies when shooting low left, for me particularly, high right, maybe low right, whatever, it goes into that finger placement and how well you pull that trigger straight back rather than at an angle or something like that. It can have a lot of effects on your accuracy. So with that said, we're gonna take it out, run it with the red dot as well. This is definitely, in my opinion, listen, there are a lot of bigger YouTubers out there that I have heard from that said the gun was extremely loud or not their cup of tea. Me personally, like, I like the gun, okay? I carry the P365 Legion. I carry a Hellcat Pro from time to time comp. This is definitely in line with those, but at a fraction of the price point for what you get. You know, that's another thing. You get this hard case, extra mag with the holster. You get a lot of bang for your buck for this price. And let's just say maybe you don't want the copped version. You got the Mete MC9, I think in general, right? Without the prime. There's a version of this gun out that is not ported. So even then, like, that might be an option for you to look into. This is my second Canik firearm. So my knowledge on Canik products are still progressing, but for the most part, I've never really heard anything bad coming out of Canik. So this is just another reason why Canik makes some pretty good products overall. And this one being made in the USA is another reason why I think they're going in the right direction. Comes with that flared magwell for easy reloads overall. You got the ambi on the slide release, whatever direction you want to go. You got the prime featured on the barrel cuts. You got a couple barrel cuts. Pretty sure that take off some weight, probably not that much. And as stated before, the ports on the top that I love. I like the ports that have the difference on the sides as well as on the top. I like that it covers over the whole entire barrel more so than just one big port on top. That is one of the issues I think with the Hellcat Pro that makes it extremely loud. It's a humongous port on the top. This one disperses that, and I think that helps kind of tone down things overall. The gripping, the stippling on the grip, good as well. It is one of those type of grips, the more pressure applied, the more it just feels like it's more firm, and the friction of these little specklings or stipplings is like more engraved into your palm. So the better the grip, the tighter the grip, the overall better type of feeling you have and control you have for the gun. You do have the indicator on the back. When you pull the trigger, it goes away. Yeah, I mean, solid firearm overall. We will be doing a follow-up once we hit that 1,000 round mark, and that will be updated with the red dots added onto it. But from my initial thoughts and opinions, this is definitely going to be a product that I think a lot of people should be excited about, especially if you are looking for something to EDC. This is, in my opinion, I personally like EDC. I think this is a good way to go. But if you are someone that does not like loud bangs, keep that in mind, okay? It's gonna be slightly louder than your typical macro or Mete MC9L, MC9, whatever version of gun that is not ported. It's going to be louder. And this shooting inside of a close quarters area, yes, it's going to be extremely, extremely loud, especially for it being ported. Is it louder than other ones out there? I'm not gonna say it is. I wanna say it's probably one of the less loud comped pistols that I've shot so far. So me personally, in my opinion, this would not stop me from carrying this one on me on my personal. With that said, feel free to ask any questions down below in the comment section and I will answer as much as I can. Stay tuned for the follow-up on this one. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one, man. I'm out. Peace.